Good evening, and thank you for coming to this. Joan says we're old hands at this, but I'm not sure. I'm Sandra Erickson. I'm your state legislator. I serve in the House and have for the last 11 years. I am a retired high school English teacher and taught most of my 30-year career at Princeton High School, but I did spend 25 years in alternative education as well. So I taught summer school, taught after school, taught Saturdays, whenever the students really needed to have a teacher for completing English courses. And it was a delight all those years that I taught for me to work with high school students and then sometimes with middle school students, although we called them junior high in the days that I taught. At the legislature, I primarily serve on education committees, but I've added health and human services. And that has been so interesting to me because that's a whole different arena for government to be involved in. As you know, there are a lot of federal dollars that flow into health care, at least I know the health professionals here do. I'm a widow and have one adult son. He is married and lives out of the state. The other committees that I've served on during my 11 years consist of regulated industries, which deals with energy and with gambling, at least it used to. I've also served on Veterans Affairs. I've received several awards while I've served in the legislature. I usually have always, I should say, for the last 11 years been a friend of small business, the NFIB Guardian of Small Business. And tomorrow I'm going to be awarded the Minnesota Hospital Association Award for Legislator of the Year. That will happen at Fairview Northland in Princeton, where I live. Other awards that I have received have come from the Taxpayers League, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail Jackson. You don't need to stand if you don't want to. It gets to be a nuisance.
Well, then I'm going to sit. Thank you, everybody, for being here. To take time out to get information and participate in your own democracy is answering the highest calling, I think. And I want to first start with thanking Representative Erickson for some real bipartisan kindness. She made a point of mentioning that she did not want to strangle me with the cord and put it behind me. And you know, it's that sort of action, you know, courtesy gives me great hope. I know many of you in a wide capacity of ways. For those of you who don't know me, I've been in our community since 1979, and I've had a small law practice in Malacca since 1986, where I have served both as a prosecutor. In fact, I did a stint as an Onamia city attorney. So yes, I was the law here once. And Mille Lacs City Attorney also. And I've represented several townships in Mille Lacs County. I have raised 3 children. In fact, I'm still working on a couple of them. One who's an adult, but I'm still working on him. I'm married. I have done a great deal of volunteer work in our communities, related actually to both education and health care. Right now, I'm serving on the board of directors for the Mille Lacs Area Health Foundation Board, and they are, of course, a 501c3 sort of fundraising arm of the hospital up here. I spent 20 years on a nonprofit health service organization in Princeton, and 2 years on the Mille Lacs School Board. What is most encouraging, what I will enjoy most tonight, are the 2 subject matters, education and health care. Because I think they are 2 areas where the moral objectives and the moral imperatives also are cost-effective and good economic choices in the long term. So I look very much forward to tonight.
Thank you. I'm Lisa Phoebe, and I always have to correct people with my name, so I think I might be looking at a name change. And I'm not an old hand at this. This is my first time running for a state office, and I really want to welcome you all tonight. I really want to thank the groups that have organized this and sponsored it, the Youth Empowered for Success and the Onamia Healthcare System. I've lived in the Princeton-Zimmerman area for the past 11 years. For the past 11 years, I could officially be called a homemaker, even though my kids wonder why I'm never home. I've been married to Dr. Americo Ferboni, who works down in the Fairview Health System for 22 years, and we have 3 sons, Angelo, 18, Dominic, 15, and Gino. My husband practices family practice and also delivers and does obstetrical care and delivers about 100 babies a year. I currently serve on the Princeton School Board. I'm the current school board chair. I serve on a number of other boards of education, the Oakland Board, the Minnesota School Board Association, and the Minnesota State High School League. Other ways that I contribute to and serve my community are through my church. I'm very active in my church at St. Edward's Catholic Church, and through the local youth kinship program. I've organized and participated in both local and international volunteer programs. I'm a wife, a mom, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a neighbor, a school board member, and a community organizer. I think what I'm most proud of, someone asked me that the other day, what are you most proud of with what you've done? Never imagined myself being a stay-at-home mom. Never thought I'd do it, and I did it for 13 years. Obviously, was a little busy during it, but what I'm most proud of is how I've raised my kids. I have 3 sons. People often think, boy, wild household, crazy. I was reminded yesterday that I've raised my sons to think of others before they think of themselves. My 15, almost 16-year-old Dominic spent half the day helping his younger brother with a jazz audition thing when he wanted to be watching the Vikings game.
Boggles.
Thank you. Begging your pardon for my voice tonight, but hopefully it'll be clear. I am Mark Olson, currently state representative on the south end of the Senate District, District 16B. I was born and raised in Sherburne County on a farm. I have been a log home builder and carpenter for 25 years. I ran for the legislature in 1990, lost once, and ran again in 92, and have been serving ever since 1993. My community service is involved volunteering for church youth groups. I do a lot of wilderness experience, rock climbing, and water waters canoeing with the Boy Scouts as well, and the developmentally disabled. I was born and raised, as I said, on a farm. My grandfather helped found the DFL party in Sherburne County. I was asked to run as a Republican, and that mixture has made me kind of an independent member. And I think that's the reputation that has developed over the years. And it's been a real privilege to serve. It's been a real eye-opener. It's been quite amazing to discover the many things I was taught as I was growing up about the legislature from my grandmother, because my grandfather was so involved, how true they are yet today. I've worked very hard to address the issues of the process, package bills, omnibus bills as we call them, how they're all rolled together, violating the single subject provision, and trying to break them up so we can truly establish good policy. I'm running as a write-in candidate because certain members of the legislature has created the ability for members of the legislature to form a group and raise all the money they need for campaigns and unload it in whatever campaigns they choose. The week before the primary, they chose to dump $10,000 to $20,000 in my race against me for a candidate that signed a pledge that she would not run. So people got behind this, asked me to run as a write-in, and we're going to carry a message forward of reform. Thank you.